I might be in a place where the girls aren't that attractive and there's one that's pretty good, and I'll really want that girl because she's the hottest in that place. Put her in a club where she's not the hottest, I don't want her anymore. I want the hottest ones. So I've always got my eyes on those girls, and I wasn't happy when I wasn't getting them. So a lot of this value stuff is about getting into a position where these girls will respond as well to you as the girls that you can just approach and be super friendly to you straight away. When I'm in a club, I'm aware of my value at all times. Here's some things that I'm doing. I will never stand in the same place too long, and this is for a few reasons. You're at the bar, you're going to get your drink, and then you're going to move. You're on the dance floor, you're dancing to music you like. That music changes, you don't want to dance anymore, you've been dancing there too long, time to move. You go outside, maybe your friends are smoking, or you go and get fresh air, go there for a bit, walk around the club. I'm always moving, and that's because the lowest value position to be in a club is when you're just standing there and nothing's going on, and people catch you doing that. If you're generally interacting with people, that's great. So I want to be interacting with both guys and girls. But I want to be aware of something here. A lot of guys make the mistake of putting a lot of energy into their interactions with people. And I like to do the opposite. I like to give as little as possible and have the other person give more. So I want to create a lot of situations where I'm talking to women and they're smiling more than I am, they're more animated than I am, they're doing more of the talking, and I want to create that situation with guys as well. The reason is there's a nice equation, which is that the interest you receive minus the effort you're giving to get that interest equals the attraction that you're generating. That means that if I'm in a room and I'm really working, I'm like, oh, hey mate, how you doing? Oh, great to see you. Oh, I really like your jump. And someone sees me working really hard, that person's higher value than me because I'm working hard for them. They must be worth something. If I'm putting all that energy and effort into it, the fact that I'm getting a good response is not worth so much. So anyone observing that interaction won't think, wow, he knows all those people and they all like him. They'll think, oh, well, he's trying hard. So as much as possible, when other people look at my interactions, they want to see me quite plain and they want to see the other person animated. They want to see me chilling and leaning against the wall, the other person walking past me and interacting with me. If I see a friend walking through, I'll wave to him, he'll come to me, he'll interact with me like that. One of my favorite things to do, and this is usually possible every time I go out, is to create a situation where I'm surrounded by women. Some examples of how you do this. Very simply done if you go on the dance floor. If you go on the dance floor and you just start dancing and having fun, regardless of if you're a good dancer or not, and you purposefully do not look at any women, do not check any out at all, and you're just dancing, maybe you're with your friends, maybe you're just looking at where the DJ is or looking over into the distance. What will naturally happen after a while is women crowd around you. The reason is, on the dance floor, the only other guys are really obviously checking out the women, they're trying to get close to them, or they're just standing there with their drink on the edge of the dance floor. And if you put yourselves into the mind of a woman, if she looks at that dance floor and wants to decide where to dance, she's not going to stand next to the guy that's just standing there. She's not going to dance next to the guy that's checking out all the other women and trying to get close to them. So you naturally get a circle around you. Same thing will happen if you're interacting with your friend at the bar. So as much as possible, I like to create situations where there's lots of women around me. But to take it up a notch, you can do this. If you find a woman that is looking at you and giving you a potential indicator of interest, or if there's just a group of girls there that are not that high value. So if you imagine you went out and there was a couple of supermodels over there, and there were some average looking girls there, they wouldn't feel that confident that night. That means they're going to respond better to your approaches and they're going to give you more non-verbally. If I see girls like that, I could do a few things. If they're just looking at me and they're giving me IOIs, I might give them just a little hint back that I'm interested. So I'll look back, I'll smile, something like that, maybe a little wave. Or I could look at a girl and I could go, be quite sexual, blow her a little kiss. When you do that, two things are going to happen. The girls are all going to pay way more attention to you, and they're going to talk about you. To allow this to happen, I'm going to turn my back on them. So the girls are there, I'm going to turn my back on them, carry on dancing, talking to my friend, whatever I'm doing. That gives them license to point at me, to obviously look at me, to talk about me, to tell their friends about me. So I've taken this girl, and instead of thinking, oh, she's not that attractive, I don't want to approach her, I'm going to go, or just a subtle thing like that, and I'm going to give her the come on. So they're going to start checking me out harder. They're at least going to talk about me, at least going to look at me, and the maximum potential is that they get close to me and they start trying to get my interest. So I might have my back to them, they might come and start dancing there. Most guys in the room will not know what's going on. However, most women that look at that situation can just say, oh, those girls like that guy. And to them, how much effort have I put in to do that? I haven't done magic tricks, I'm not peacocking, I'm not doing anything. I'm just chilling, I'm just dancing. And these girls are crowding around, they're talking about me, they're trying to dance and get close. This hot girl is now paying attention to you, and you haven't done anything. I might go upstairs, and instead of going in the smoking area, outside just to the side of the club, I'm going to actually leave the whole club. And I'm going to say I need to go and get some money from the ATM, or I need to, buy some cigarettes in the shop, whatever it is, make a phone call. I'm going to get actually out of the club, completely out of the club. As I go, I'm going to shake the bouncer's hand, I'm going to say I'll be back in a second, make sure he remembers me, maybe he stamps me, maybe he just remembers my face. And I'm going to go across the road, I'm going to buy a chocolate bar. And I'm going to wait a few minutes, and I'm going to come back and the club will be packed. Outside there'll be huge queues for tables, queues for guest lists, people trying to get in, loads of people in the smoking area. I've been gone for 10 minutes, I'm going to come back with my chocolate bar. Like, you're right, mate. And I'm going to breeze straight in with my chocolate bar. Any girls in the queue, I'll just, I'll make sure they notice me, I'll force IOIs, people in the smoking area. I look like the ultimate VIP because there's a huge queue. I've walked in, not only that, I've got a chocolate bar that I'm eating. So I'm not even serious about it, How cool, I'm not coming to the club trying to, can I come in please? I'm just, hey, you right mate, how you doing? Let's breeze in with my chocolate bar. I often go to the smoking area in a club because it's quiet, you can have a conversation, and the girls don't have too many distractions there. They're having their cigarette and they're there for 5 minutes, maybe with some conversation, maybe without, but it's a good place to open them generally. But something else you can think of is that in that smoking area, if you can see the queue, then you can do something, you can force IOIs from the smoking area to girls in the queue. Girl in the queue wants to get in the club. She's looking for people she recognises. She's looking for a way in. She wants to get in quickly. She's getting cold, especially in London at winter. And she wants to get in. She sees you in the smoking area. You're higher value than her because you're already in the club. So something that works really well is to force IOIs from the smoking area into the club. And if you do pop out, you can also go to the queue and chat to girls in the queue and say, okay, I'll see you inside, and just breeze back in. As soon as they see you inside, you're that high value guy that got in more easily than they did. Any girl that has to queue will see you as potentially a way that she can get into the club more easily next time. She doesn't know that you were there an hour ago and you had to queue as well. She doesn't know all that. She just sees you as higher value because you're in that situation.